The woman suddenly realized. Her blind date said he was less than 1.8 meters tall, but in fact he was only 1.38 meters tall. Anna felt embarrassed, but to avoid embarrassment, she still forced a smile.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Bah rien.
John saw her doubts. He began to talk about his height in a self-deprecating way. The humorous words made Anna laugh, but John knew that if he wanted to win the other person's favor, he couldn't just rely on sweet words. So he picked up the phone and called the butler. He asked him to fly his private plane here. Anna thought John was joking, but soon she was taken to an altitude of 10,000 meters. The first time she skydived, Anna was so scared that her legs went weak. She shouted that she wanted to go home immediately, but John comforted her that it was safe, because he had already had 2 skydiving experiences. After a 5-second countdown, the 2 jumped down. The whole city was in full view. Anna's adrenaline surged. This was an experience she had never had before. When the 2 landed safely, Anna thanked the man who gave her a sense of security. Before leaving, Anna took the initiative to ask for John's phone number. Although it was the first time for the 2 to meet, they both left a deep impression on each other. John was a short, rich, and handsome man. His talent and hard work made him an outstanding construction engineer. But being rich did not mean having no worries. His short stature brought him many troubles. When he walks down the street, he will be ignored and knocked to the ground by passers-by. In the company, he would be laughed at by his employees for his lack of authority. Even his wife left him because of his height. The only one who truly respected her was his eldest son. On the other hand, Anna was tall and beautiful. She would get 100% of the attention when she walked on the street. But liking someone doesn't necessarily mean focusing on appearance. Since the last date, Anna has developed a crush on the short but charming John. Even at parties, her mind is full of his images. The days when she didn't see John, Anna gradually lost her passion for work. She finally couldn't help but call John. He was very happy about Anna's call. He took the initiative to invite Anna on a date, and said that it was a special place. At night, Anna showed up as promised, but John became mysterious. He always surprises the other party. Even the date place tonight is the same. Since this place only accepts regular customers, John had to tiptoe to scan his face. When Anna walked in, she found a fine bar hidden under the shabby decoration. The atmosphere here is full. Anna can see that everyone here likes John, but only John knows. Everyone who likes him is just out of sympathy. John told Anna a joke at the table. Under his encouragement, Anna, who was always serious, also made a face. The 2 laughed non-stop that night. They began to gradually enter each other's hearts. First date. John always made Anna laugh. She hadn't been so happy for a long time. Late at night, John sent Anna home. Before leaving, Anna gave him a passionate kiss. Anna firmly believed that she had fallen deeply in love with this man. But because she worked in her ex-husband's company, the news of Anna's love soon reached her ex-husband's ears. Because her ex-husband still had fantasies about Anna, he couldn't help but want to know what charm the other party had. But what he never expected was that his ex-wife's new boyfriend was actually a dwarf who was not even as tall as the car door. At the night dance, he put his arm around her waist. She put her hand on his shoulder. But because of the height difference, they looked out of tune with others. Looking at the men around him who were taller than him, John couldn't help feeling inferior. But when he saw that Anna didn't care, he began to let himself go. His funny dance steps made Anna laugh. When the dance ended, the 2 were reluctant to part.
Je prends à droite, accompagne chez toi, embrasse. Et on se branche si je vais à gauche, chez moi et là.
In the end, Anna chose to turn left. But just as the 2 were hugging each other tightly, Anna saw the mirror opposite. This scene made her fall into deep thought. She loved John's interesting soul but found it difficult to accept his defective body. John seemed to see the doubts in her heart. His eyes once again fascinated Anna. Woke up the next day. Anna saw the note John left for her before going to work. It was his warm morning greeting. Anna enjoyed the feeling of being loved. But when she was putting on makeup, she accidentally kicked the stool next to her. She knew what the stool meant. She was thinking about this relationship again. The assistant noticed Anna's abnormality, asked her if she was in love with the man who came to the company last time, but Anna denied it. But even if she tried her best to hide it, she couldn't hide it from her ex-husband.
Je t'interdis de m'appeler comme ça. C'est blessant, c'est humiliant.
Ouais, mais t'as pensé à ce que ça me fait à moi? Mon ex-femme se met en couple avec un mec.
Je suis pas en couple.
Mais c'est quoi alors? Un plan cul?
J'ai aucun compte à 30, c'est clair?
Anna knew John had flaws, but she wouldn't let anyone say a bad word about him. Perhaps out of guilt, she wanted to buy John a piece of clothing as compensation, but she couldn't find any suitable one the right size. She had no choice but to walk into a children's clothing store. The owner thought he was buying clothes for his son, so he gave her a piece of children's clothing for about 10 years old. Anna was a little embarrassed but didn't want to explain too much. Soon after, the 2 walked on the street. John also wore the clothes Anna gave him, but by coincidence, Anna met the owner of the children's clothing store here.
Et le ventre alors, ça allait la taille finalement?
Oui. Ah oui, c'était très bien.
Ah bon, très bien.
The scene was very embarrassing. At night, Anna blamed herself for this incident, but John comforted her not to care. He had been accustomed to the strange eyes of others since he was a child, but Anna was different. Every time she was in this situation, she felt very painful. In order to relieve Anna, John took the initiative to break up.
Rentre chez toi. Rentre chez toi.
But can they really break up? In her ex-husband's company. Soon after, this matter reached her ex-husband's ears. That day, John came to Anna's company. After a few words, her ex-husband broke in. The two always quarreled because of work. But because John was too short, her ex-husband didn't even realize his existence.
Je sortirai pas de cette pièce tant que tu... Ah!
C'est occupé.
Anna hurriedly took her ex-husband to another room. He mocked her again for falling in love with a dwarf. But in Anna's heart, her ex-husband was more like a dwarf at this time. When watching a movie at night, John saw Anna's loss. He knew that it must be something that happened during the day that made her unhappy. The next day, John drove to Anna's ex-husband and asked him to stay away from Anna. Otherwise, he would no longer be polite.
Ah, tu me menaces.
Je te dis juste que ma patience a des limites, c'est tout.
The two hot-tempered men were ready to have a fight on the spot. But looking at the hot-tempered people on the street, the noisy crowd, the ex-husband finally chose to leave. After that day, Anna noticed that her ex-husband no longer pestered her. She knew that it was all John's credit, so she prepared to introduce John to her mother and stepfather. John readily agreed to this. But the next day, Anna's mother laughed at John's height. Even when they were eating, people around him looked at him strangely, taking advantage of the gap when John walked away. Anna told her mother that they were just work relationships, although John greeted her with a smile all night. But he was sensitive and had already noticed the eyes of people around him. At night, Anna blamed herself for this matter, but John comforted her not to care. He had been accustomed to the strange eyes of others since he was a child. But Anna was different. Every time she was in this situation, she felt very painful. In order to relieve Anna, Appointment John took the initiative to break up.
Rentre chez toi. Rentre chez toi.
It rained heavily that night and their eyes were filled with tears. But since leaving John, Anna has not escaped from the so-called pain. She thinks about that man every moment in her heart. And so does John. Finally, Anna found his home that day. But it was John's eldest son who opened the door. He told Anna that his father had left and asked her not to hurt his father anymore. Anna was very disappointed. She told her assistant about it. The assistant told her seriously.
En fait, c'est toi la naine. T'es une naine émotionnelle. T'as un corps normal, mais à l'intérieur, c'est tout petit. Un tout petit cœur, avec des tout petits sentiments.
Anna cried. These words pierced her like a knife. When the mother saw her sad daughter, she quickly apologized for her past behavior, in order for Anna to have no regrets in the future. Her mother told her not to care about other people's words. Try to pursue your own happiness. Anna mustered up the courage to board the plane to John City, although she was very scared in her heart. But she still chose to show up the same way as they did on their first date. Anna landed smoothly, although she looked a little embarrassed. But at this moment, she was still a warrior charging for love. Anna had too much to say, but thousands of words were not as good as a word "I love you."
T'auras mal au cou? J'aurai mal au dos? Ben on souffrira ensemble. Tant pis, on s'en fout.
Looking at Anna's sincere eyes, John's eyes also became firm. He didn't say a word, but he said what he wanted to say with his actions. Appearance may be the standard for heartbeat, but it is definitely not the standard for a lifetime of companionship. People often choose their partners with a secular perspective and pursue love with vanity, but the lover who can really accompany you hand in hand, always encourages you when you are down, shares your joy when you are happy, the person who never abandons you despite difficult circumstances.